What is good, my dudes? We are back in Tiny Tina's Wonderland. It is morning. I feel super congested. We have a lot of things to talk about. Sorry to make it about me. Quick TLDR for people who don't have a lot of time. There is some huge changes. Essentially, we have level 35 Chaos Chambers now, which is madness. So we're going to be able to work up to that point. The reason why we have that now is to get Primordial Gear. Primordial Gear is incredibly important and very good. Also, you have to grind another couple 20-some levels. Awesome. Just great. I loved that part of it so much. Anywho, we're also getting a ton of moon ore. So we're getting the ability to hold 16 in total, and we are also getting the ability to gain more from picking them up. They also addressed a lot of the bug fixes in terms of the Buffmeister giving you a lot of bonuses, stuff like that. So we're going to talk about all that in this video. There's a lot, my guy. Be patient with me. Holy shit. So first things first, one thing that they explained that I don't think I did in the last hotfix breakdown video, but essentially, if you guys do not know this, or if there's any new people in our wonderful Wonderlands community, how Borderlands has always worked is that there is a update, hard update, and then there's a hotfix. Hotfixes are something they do to quickly put a band-aid on some problems, but if you're not online, you will not get the hotfix. But this is an actual big update. Let's start right at the hop. FameMaker can now rechain their pet names in the quick chain section, essentially being able to name your pet whatever you desire. Fantastic. Not only this, but there's been a change to the enemy waves in the Chaos Chamber, in the Endless Dungeon specifically. Basically, enemies will start coming out sooner, which is neat. Also, they adjusted the moon ore. Quick TLDR, now you can hold 16 moon ore, which is pretty fantastic, as well as you're going to be gaining more moon ore when you pick them up, which is great. Also, this is really important, they have changed the maximum cost for spending and re-rolling your weapons to 4k at a max. This also means you can level up any weapon infinitely because it won't just keep stacking to a beyond 16. So whenever you get to 4,000, you'll be good to go. I love this because sometimes, man, you cannot get. Sometimes you get God to drop as a weapon, and you're like, what the hell? And the idea that you could brick that weapon is painful. The idea that it's like, okay, I just gotta grind for 3 hours to have a chance is painful, but not as painful. So this is awesome. Some crash reports have been fixed when it comes to console, Xbox, everything, some PC things, all that lovely stuff. Great. Hi, real quick, I missed something. Yeah, loot dice essentially are going to be account-wide now, so you're not gonna have to collect all of the lucky loot dice for every new character. Pain, suffering. Now it's just one person. For the couple people who like doing that, I'm sorry, I guess, but maybe talk to people, maybe talk to some help, get some help. And here is the big poobah. Address the following report concerns. So I think this is, addressed. So this is implemented, they've fixed this, they've retweaked a lot of the things. I'm gonna read through all of these. Kill me, and I'll tell you ones that I think are relevant. We've encountered this one. Loot luck basically wasn't appearing correctly given the certain circumstance, so that's addressed. Also, a lot of UI fixes, just overall bug fixes. But what are the ones that affect some of our builds? Oh, they fixed the health UI thing. Thank God. I always see my friends dead and my companion gone when he was fine. Anyways, Spore Warden's Blizzard action skill and Graveborn's Dire Sacrifice action skill would be unable to deal critical hits, so that is all fixed now. Lovely. Awesome, especially Blizzard. That's huge. Yeah, Spore Warden needs some. Yeah, it did nothing. It was terrible. Anyway, this is cute. Graveborn Demi-Lich would incorrectly bless some Fate Makers with invulnerability at 1 health. Weird. Spellshot's double not passive ability was not dealing the correct amount of damage or bonus damage. That could be a big ass nerf or a bonus in disguise. I hate when they don't tell us where it was to where it is now. Anyways, this is pretty huge. The Bread Slicer has too many projectile effects that reduce performance. So what they did is they decreased the fire rate, but they increased the damage so that there should not be anything lost. Fingers crossed, that's true. Ooh, this is huge. Fate Maker would occasionally be unable to use the Skulldigger weapons if dropped during cooldown animation. There was basically a glitch that I'm not sure if it's fixed, but it's in the Chaos Chambers where you can't actually use your the Skulldigger like heating up weapons because they would just permanently break and be bricked, which is not good. Hopefully that's fixed. Hopefully that's what that means. And here's the unfortunate big poobah, or bad poobah. Bad. Okay, Buffmeister would calculate bonus damage incorrectly while equipping a spell shot secondary spell. So if you guys didn't know this, the Buffmeister, if you wielded it in your right hand, would take the insane base damage of the left hand spell and put it into the right hand. So that seemingly has been addressed. A big sad for people who are using that. I am sorry. But this is interesting, and I don't know if I like the route of this. The basically repeating cast manufacturer in regards to eruption spells it was causing performance loss essentially for players. So as a result, it has been pulled from the pools, the drop pools. I don't know if I like that. I mean, I get it, my console brother and, ball and chain, all that. But also, same thing, repeating cast manufacturer for the arc torrents all across the board. Apparently, we're having, they can no longer roll with one extra projectile. But this is the thing that confuses me. This does not affect existing copies of the spell. That's awesome. That's not what confused me. The extra projectile mod never functioned with these spells to begin with. Okay, so I guess you just had a wasted perk without knowing it. So a lot of the arc torrents, I guess, just weren't calculating that. So does that mean, okay, I understand. does that mean that they're fixed? Or does that mean it's like, like this is a non-thing? Because you had something, it's been removed because it was never giving you the bonus anyway, but those of you who want to look at the bonus being applied, even though it's not happening, you can keep it. Okay, what? Anyway, repeating cast bound arc torrent can now spawn with an extra projectile mod. This effect does not stack on existing copies of the spell. So yeah, basically I think they fixed one of them. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay. Anyways, this is another big pooba. Arcane spells were unintentionally recharging action skills with an action skill cooldown item when it was equipped. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is now fixed. This was a thing that basically allowed you to completely get your action skill back within 5 seconds, essentially. But you would just cast your spell. Arcane basically is the charge spell, so you would just tap it, and it would basically queue up a spell. But unless you hold it down fully, you're not going to expend your spell, which allowed you to spam that consistently, and that would constantly keep detonating the on spell cast, reduce your action skill, and boom, you'd basically have your action skill back immediately. Shit was crazy. Anyway, but yes, that is unfortunately now fixed, so people who are using that, I think Stabomasters were getting a lot of benefit from that. Forgive me, brothers, I'm just the messenger. Sad, big sad, all that. This is also another cute comment. Puddles of water were becoming too spicy when being shot by an element of the weapon with a relevant modifier. Interesting. All I know is that, yeah, in the Chaos Chambers, if you're really trying to detonate yourself and give yourself a kill run where you're trying to like break your build, essentially, the elemental pools would just drop you in like 2 seconds. Like they did obscene damage. So I wonder if this addressed all of that, or if it's just when a weapon shot a pool and kind of gave you more damage. I don't know. What is this? Chum Burlee would occasionally also be too intimidated to say their VO lines in combat. All right. I like the cuteness of the person writing this, but at the same time, I'm left with a little bit of confusion. Is it fixed? I don't know. And then a bunch of console things, but that's more or less it, and more. Them sons of bitches did something. I don't like that, and more. It gives me anxiety. Anyway. But ladies and gentlemen, essentially, quick TLDR of all of this, my god, is there's a ton of UI changes. Best bet is just to get in there and see what's different. Some tweaks and balances and stuff like that. Big pooba, a lot of the main, like, explicit, maybe things that weren't supposed to function as they were, was the Buffmeister getting an amplification from the spell in your left hand, which it never specified, and of course, just the weird synergy with Arcane and the necklace, which granted is a cool synergy, but granted, if they ever release like a spell that you can cast 5 times and recharges really fast, then you can kind of subliminally live that dream. But this way, it's not messing with something that you didn't have to take a loss in, which is have a very specific spell that has multiple charges and maybe less damage. But I digress. Also, there's a limited time event, I believe, which is the in-game mini event is the Cosmetic Collector for some of my brothers and sisters in the community who have been grinding cosmetics. I apologize, because this is rather poor timing, because I feel like a lot of you just got to the end of this. But anyways, increases the chance for cosmetic drops from bosses, especially heads and face gear, and armor colors. This is awesome to run us alongside our Chum DLC right now. That's going to be fantastic. A lot of people are just going to be grinding Chum, so we're going to be getting a lot of the cosmetics here, which is just mwah! It is paying that we did. That's not account wide. It is paying that, yeah, you have to get everything individually. Ugh. Also, new feature run added. We are fighting Lance and the Frost King. Cool. Change notes. Patch some holes in the mountain cross. Oh, people were bugging through the. Why do that? Was it bad? I don't know. I like speedrunners having their way with the world. Okay, with the game world. Calm down. Stop it. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is the thing. Ice Spike spell has been adjusted to deal damage to an individual target once per cast. So essentially, the Ice Spike, the one that's like Vlad the Impaler pops out of the ground, that one was essentially hitting twice accidentally on occasion. So they fixed that. It broke it, and then they ran it back, which is awesome of them. Appreciate them doing that, not just leaving it there because some people's builds were hindered on that. So they ran that back, and then they fixed it to where it actually it's working as intended. It will only hit once now, and it's still a very good spell. It also just detonates right on top of whoever you cast it on. So pretty nice. Fixed an issue with Zomboss minions sometimes weren't showing up to the fight. And last, ladies and gentlemen, one more. If you made it to the end, you've got it. But they've adjusted certain things with both the Berserker. I clicked the damn thing. The Berserker and the Clawbringer. So essentially increases Dreadwind's damage as it scales with higher levels by 28%. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is bigger than you might think, because there's a lot of things. When it says levels, I'm not sure if that means you're like level 40 or if it means chaos levels, because that's a huge part of the game if your skills scale with the chaos level stacking on top of each other. But good to know that Dreadwing stacks seemingly are better now. I gotta play the Berserker. I have yet to dive into that. That's the next build hope I'm doing. Also words. Also UI fix for him, nice. But this is the big Puma with Clawbringer. I don't know if this is going to fix him or put him, not drowning in the tears of all the people who are using one skill. With pains, I know. Increase the damage radius of Cleansing Flame's melee damage. Okay. Hopefully it's a lot. Anyway, yeah, it's not the range thing I thought was a problem with the Cloudbringer, but okay. Remove the cooldown on the Storm Smite skill. That's pretty huge. Anything that reduces, takes off the cooldown pivot, that's massive. That's so nice. Increase Storm Smite damage as it scales with higher levels by 50%. So this might be the thing that scales him really, really well. Yeah, so anything again, if it's per chaos level or if it's just per levels, anything, again, regardless, it's 50% increase, which is quite nice. Anyways, improved targeting for Storm Smite. Nice. Also, removes Storm Smite's delay between puddles and lightning bolts spawning. That's nice. Okay. I gotta play more Clawbringer to really understand this. Forgive me, people. I wish I understood the benefit of this more, but 50% seems pretty good. Radius, okay. And then this also seems good for the Clawbringer. Sorry, Berserker. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to my early morning congested have an ass. Thank you so much. Also, ladies and gentlemen, all of our Wonderlands content will be moved over to our new channel called Brothers Grin. It sounds like a cult. It might be. Don't look at me. Anyways, hopefully I can see you guys there. I will continue to keep you guys up to date on just about everything, and I cannot wait to talk to you guys more about Chum and this new event. I might upload 2 videos today. See, give or take what happens. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully I can see you again, and goodbye, my friends.